We weren't to deal with it. Nobody had ever.
Matthew Perry filmed iconic Friends scene with help of his sober technician. I married Monica and got driven back to the treatment center. Matthew Perry opened up about one of the more painful experiences he went through battling addiction while on the set of Friends in his memoir Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, 1 year prior to his death. The late actor, who passed away at the age of 54 on October 29th, admitted he should have been on Cloud 9 filming an iconic scene in 2000 where his character, Chandler Bing, marries Monica Geller, played by Courtney Cox. Instead, Perry was in the midst of being moved from one rehab facility to another. 2 weeks later, I was driven to the set of Friends by a technician from Malibu, Perry wrote, detailing his trip from the Promises rehab facility to the Warner Brothers lot to shoot the 2-part episode of Season 7. I married Monica and got driven back to the treatment center at the height of my highest point in Friends, the highest point in my career, the iconic moment on the iconic show, in a pickup truck helmed by a sober technician, he added. The star also detailed how Jennifer Aniston had approached him when he appeared on the Warner Brothers lot that day following a significant period of absence. When I arrived, Jen Aniston said, "I've been mad at you," he wrote. "Honey," I said, "if you knew what I'd been through, you would not be mad at me." The wedding episode includes Phoebe, Lisa Kudrow, and Rachel Aniston serving as bridesmaids and Ross, David Schwimmer, assuming the role of best man. Joey, Matt LeBlanc, makes it just in time to officiate the ceremony. In his memoir, Perry added that his father, John Bennett Perry, had threatened to remove his son from the series after Friends co-creators Marta Kaufman and David Crane inquired about Perry's availability to film the episode. "I was so grateful for him for being my dad and doing the dad thing, but I also didn't want to be the problem. They were just doing their job. They had the #1 hit TV show, and 2 of the main characters were about to get married. I couldn't just disappear. I just wanted everything to be okay," Perry explained in the book. When sharing about his substance abuse and the toll it began to take on his body, the whole 9-yard star confessed he was taking as many as 55 Vicodin pills a day. In 2018, his struggle set off a harrowing medical journey including pneumonia, a ruptured colon, and a short stint on life support. He was given just a 2% chance to live at one point while in the hospital, Perry confessed in his tome. The memoir was published just 1 year after Perry had a tearful reunion with his Friends co-stars for an HBO special. During it, Cox reminisced, "It was an incredible time. We became best friends," to which Perry confessed, "Yep, I'm going to cry now." Dropping his head down and wrapping his arms around his body, Perry held a solemn look as Aniston leaned over to comfort him. The series ran for 10 seasons, premiering in 1994. The final episode, which aired in 2004, broke records with more than 50 million viewers. In the reunion, Matthew admitted that before he won the role, he had just $11 to his name as his career had hit rock bottom, having appeared in several short-lived sitcoms. After landing the show, he said he would have panic attacks about learning his lines amid his battles with mental health and addiction. He also revealed that his favorite episode was the one where everybody finds out, which was the one where the gang discovered Chandler and Monica's relationship with some very amusing scenarios playing out. Days ahead of the HBO premiere, Perry had told Good Morning America, "Reuniting this cast again, I knew it was going to be a really seriously emotional experience. And it has been. I don't think any of us had any idea how emotional we would be when we walked onto the set," Courtney added. "Truth is, I didn't cry walking out onto the set," Kudrow, who played Phoebe Buffy, admitted. "And now I can't stop." "Floodgates open," Aniston agreed. Perry died after drowning in his jacuzzi at home, sources have told DailyMail.com. Law enforcement sources said the actor was found on October 29th at a home in Los Angeles after first responders were called to the scene for a cardiac arrest. Authorities responded to his home around 4 p.m. where he was discovered unresponsive. A source told DailyMail.com there was no sign of foul play and that robbery-homicide detectives are investigating his death. Matthew Perry was raking in $20 million per year in Friends residuals, but what happens to the money now that he's gone? Matthew Perry was raking in up to $20 million per year in residuals from his role as Chandler Bing in the iconic sitcom Friends. The 54-year-old actor was found dead in a hot tub at his Los Angeles home on October 28, but his cause of death has not been confirmed yet. He played the Friends character for almost 10 years, and he reportedly earned $20 million every year from syndication and streaming revenue. This sum of money could be passed down to individuals he listed as beneficiaries or given to a trust he nominated, according to a financial planning expert who spoke to CNBC. But due to the fact he did not have a spouse or children, if Perry did not name any person or organization, then state law would determine what would happen to his estate, and the cash would most likely go to his parents who have survived him. Following the death of an actor, their residual payments are considered their personal property. In most cases, this stream of income is owned by the performer's estate, and there are three possibilities as to what happens to Perry's residuals from Friends-based California laws. Members of the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, can list beneficiaries for residual payments in the case of death, according to expert financial planner Charlie Douglas. He said Perry could have named an individual or a few people, and this is similar to naming a beneficiary for accounts like a 401k. The Friends star could have also named a trust to receive his residual payments, and it would flow to them, and they would have stipulations as to who gets them. Trusts are private matters, unlike wills, which are public record, so it may never be known who inherits this stream of income. But there is a third option. If Perry did not name a specific beneficiary, that state law would determine the outcome of his estate. It's quite possible that, not having a spouse or children, he didn't write in anything, president of HH Legacy Investments Douglas said. There is a framework within all states to determine how the money and belongings of an individual would be distributed if they die. These are known as intestacy laws, which vary across different states. Mostly it is made up of the typical hierarchy of inheritance in order of who stands to receive assets. A spouse is first, followed by children, grandchildren, parents, and then siblings. But Perry did not have a wife or children, and he is survived by his parents who got divorced when he was a baby. Both of them have remarried and have had more children. His parents will likely take on his acting royalties as well as other parts of his estate, which includes his 2022 memoir, according to Dave Pitney Trusts and Estates partner Tasha Dickinson. However, they could make a qualified disclaimer and give up their rights, which would mean it would pass down to his half-siblings. It's not unheard of at all that wealthy parents make disclaimers, Douglas said. Perry's assets would be divided up based on the probate court system otherwise. Probate is especially undesirable in California because it's expensive, time-consuming, and an invasion of privacy, since all court matters are public record, tax expert David O. said. He added that celebrities not having an estate plan creates confusion, attracts unwanted media attention, and can cause family dispute. Perry could also have decided to give away his estate to someone outside his immediate family. The actor had many close relationships and supported several philanthropic interests, and it wouldn't be surprising to see some of his wealth go towards them, O said. Perry struggled with addiction for years, and he once opened a sober living facility at his Malibu mansion. He was also working to create a foundation to help sufferers. The Matthew Perry Foundation was established in his name on November 3rd. It is sponsored and maintained by the National Philanthropic Trust. When I die, I know people will talk about friends, Perry said during an interview last year. And I'm glad of that, happy I've done some solid work as an actor. But when I die, as far as my so-called accomplishments go, it would be nice if Friends were listed far behind the things I did to try to help other people. I know it won't happen, but it would be nice. Perry's co-stars were seen on Friday consoling each other outside the church where the 54-year-old was laid to rest. Jennifer Aniston, 54, Lisa Kudrow, 60, Courtney Cox, 59, and David Schwimmer, 57, arrived as a quartet, all dressed in black suits and somber as they prepared to say their last goodbyes to Perry at Forest Lawn Cemetery in Los Angeles. They were joined outside the church after the simple hour-long ceremony by Matt LeBlanc, 56, and were pictured in conversation with other well-wishers. His tearful mother Suzanne Morrison, 84, and Dateline journalist stepfather Keith, 76, were both at the private event, as was his father John Perry, 82. Keith Morrison was one of the pallbearers. On Monday, Aniston and the rest of the cast, Cox, LeBlanc, Schwimmer, and Kudrow, issued a statement describing their shock and sadness. "We are all so utterly devastated by the loss of Matthew. We were more than just castmates. We are a family," the cast said in a joint statement on Monday. "There is so much to say, but right now we're going to take a moment to grieve and process this unfathomable loss. In time we will say more, as and when we are able. For now, our thoughts and our love are with Mattie's family, his friends, and everyone who loved him around the world." Perry's cause of death remains unconfirmed, but initial toxicology reports found that there was no meth or fentanyl in his system when he drowned. Throughout his life, Perry had been open about his struggles with drugs and alcohol. The common narcotics were not found in Perry's system during initial tests, according to a TMZ report. But more in-depth testing is underway and would show if the beloved actor had any prescription medication in his system. When investigators responded to Perry's home, they did not find any illegal drugs, but found prescription medication that was properly labeled and kept in storage bottles.